to fabulous La Jolla, California for Saturday night Big West Conference basketball. Move over PGA Tour. Tonight, the UC San Diego Tritons hope to end a 6-game slide as they host Cal State Bakersfield here inside RE/MAC Arena. Welcome everybody courtside inside RE/MAC Arena again, where we will not be with spectators tonight. Alongside Ted Mendenhall, I'm Steve Quist. On Thursday night, the Tritons let one get away. They lost a 13-point second half lead. They're hoping to get the bounce back against the Roadrunners here tonight. Let's take a look at our Big West results presented by Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaiian Airlines is the official airline of the Big West Conference. And moments ago, Fullerton lost to Riverside on the road for their first conference setback of the year. Hawaii will host Santa Barbara in 2 hours, and at the halfway point of the season, if they win, they'll be in first place all by their lonesome. And these runners down in the second half of the standings at just 1 and 4. Now, our keys to the game is always brought to you by UC San Diego Health.
And we start off with Cal State Bakersfield. They want to look for opportunities to score in transition, and they can do that defensively. They lead the Big West with 7 steals a game, and they want to try to make themselves feel at home. They have struggled on the road, just 1 and 5 coming into tonight. UC San Diego wants to get back to making it rain. There has been a shooting drought for the Tritons beyond the arc, just 30% from downtown during this 6-game losing streak. And then when they get to the charity stripe, convert. There's another problem, just 64% at the free throw line during this 6-game skid.
Well, let's see how the Tritons respond after, as we mentioned, losing a 13-point second half lead to Cal Poly at home on Thursday night for their second straight defeat inside RE/MAC Arena. We haven't seen that in a long time. As a matter of fact, the first time the Triton men have lost back-to-back home games in the Division I era, if you can believe that. Bakersfield with their full roster present and available, something that has been tough for many teams to say here in January of 2022. And at center, we're ready to jump. Justin McCall for Bakersfield in the gold or yellow, if you will, against Tony Rochak. And it's the Roadrunners who have the opening possession.
Well, these are 2 hungry teams. One of them's going to stop a losing streak. Bakersfield's lost 2 in a row. We mentioned the 6 in a row by UC San Diego.
Yeah, Tritons have not won since beating CSUN to go 2-0 against Big West opponents in this building on New Year's Day. Rochak cleans up the missed shot there by Justin Edler-Davis to start things.
You'll see the runners extend their defense all night.
And how about that start for Jake Killingsworth? He was scoreless against Cal Poly in 38 minutes. He was 0 for 5 from the floor. He missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts.
Rod Barnes, the head coach for the Runners.
Kickball.
He will go 11, 12, even 13 deep on a pretty regular basis, and there's his first substitution. Did not like the defense on that opening possession.
So Edler-Davis is out. He's a redshirt senior from Morse High School, in the top 10 in scoring. And Yvonne Reynolds, the 6'4" freshman from Pompano Beach, Florida, comes in. You know, they have used 8 different starting lineups, and they'll normally use 11 guys in a game. And Stith with the baseball pass inside to Cameron Smith for the first bucket for the Runners.
See, not necessarily a full court press, but they are going to put pressure on the basketball, try to make the Tritons use up some energy and use up some of the shot clock.
After tonight, everyone will have played 1 round through, and a great pass. Rockamore inside to Wakoria. He gets the basket and the foul.
Here's a look at Eric Olin, the West Region Coach of the Year in 1920. And I mean, already, just on the first 2 possessions, the offense looks more in sync. They look like they were on a string, moving in sync, something that you could not say in that Cal Poly game. Just a lot of uncharacteristic errors for this team.
Yeah, foul was on Sean Stith. That's his first. Wakoria completes the 3-point play at a 6-2 lead for UC San Diego. We had to get to 2 media timeouts against Cal Poly on Thursday to have a 6-2 ball game. And the Tritons were leading.
Bakersfield, another good defense that they're facing. They're 3rd in the Big West, allowing 63 points a game.
Justin McCall has it now with 10 to shoot. On the drive, Cameron Smith disrupted and is going to go off of McCall underneath as Killingsworth helps it. Keeping it alive there, getting it off McCall. And so it'll be Triton basketball.
Well, you and I have had plenty of opportunities to talk to Eric Olin over the years. His post-game press conference after Cal Poly lasts 46 seconds. He was ready to move on from that one. He was not a happy man.
And that was a particularly big league hang with him kind of night. And there is a turnover, of which Eric Olin's team had 18 in the loss on Thursday to Cal Poly. But the interesting thing was the Mustangs turned it over 24 times.
Unreal.
And still exited the building with a 4-point
You
win.
have a 13-point lead at home, and the opposition turns it over 24 times. You should win that game.
Higgins gets it to a streaking Reynolds. Now McCall. Stiff has it down low. The double team comes with 8 to shoot. He's in trouble, and he nearly turned it over. It's collected there by Reynolds, but they've got to get a shot off. McCall fires it up. That is a shot clock violation as he hits the top of the backboard. This is really good defense by a Tritons team that is last in field goal defense in the Big West as they start play here on the final Saturday of January. And they're letting teams shoot a 45% clip against them.
Well, I think they like this pace too. They like to get up and down the floor. They don't want to be stuck in half court. They want to be running up and down, and then defensively, they just want to stay in rhythm and stay on point, switching on ball screens and such.
Killingsworth lost the handle momentarily, got it back, throws it down mid-post to Rockamore. Drives in, kick out, Rochek with a drive. He's cut off, out to Pope for 3. Missed off the front of the rim, and a rebound there by Shane Stith. He'll get almost 5 of those a game.
No surprises. Talking to Rod Barnes, the Bakersfield head coach in his 11th year, said their focus was on slowing down Rochek and keeping the Tritons from shooting open threes.
And runners do a few things particularly well as they get it down low post to Stith, and I mean, he's just got a big body on him, man. He's not going to miss that when he gets that deep into the post. One thing they do, 6th fewest turnovers in the NCAA. They lead the Big West, so they protect the ball, and they're really good on the offensive glass as Rochek is fouled driving the baseline.
Really need to see better post play from the Tritons than they've had over these last half dozen games, and it starts with Tony Rochek. You can't have 7 turnovers like he had on Thursday night, so he's probably a guy that they're going to try and get going early and often here.
Cameron Smith, the foul. Bino, as they call him, the 6'7" junior and the junior college transfer. That was his first foul. It's the second on the Runners, and Rochek makes the first. Jake Kosikowski, the igniter, as we called him. Some big, big threes while his team was sluggish in the early going against Cal Poly.
He likes to shoot from that right side, either in the corner or the wing.
Tony hits the second. He's got his first 2 points of the night. Rochek comes in, 5th leading scorer in the Big West at 15.6 points per game. Trying to defend Stiff now. A few dribbles, gets in, and a foul will be called, and that is the customary early foul by Tony Rochek.
Boy, Stiff just swatted him like he was a fly. He is a big man at 6'8", 265. Suffered a season-ending ACL injury against UC Santa Barbara February of 2021, came back in 9 months, was ready for opening day. Look at that, and he doesn't have a sleeve on his leg or anything.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Alan Williams over a decade ago at UC Santa Barbara. But yeah, season-ending knee injury 11 months ago, returned in 9 months, and is now up to averaging 21 minutes per game. He reminds me a lot in his recovery of Kyle Collinsworth at BYU some years ago, right? Tore an ACL and was back starting for the Cougars 8 months later. It's amazing what modern medicine can do these days.
Yeah, and give some credit to the young man, too, for working his rear end off to get back.
He has 4 of the 6 for the Runners, does Sean Smith out of Oakland, California. Rochek with a drive, and Rochek takes it right to the bucket.
Yeah, wasting no time tonight. They're trying to avoid getting stagnant like they did often against Cal Poly.
Tried on the other post with Edler Davis, who's back out there. McCall, good ball movement. That's a deep 2 on the way. He missed it, and what do we talk about? Those offensive rebounds, huh? Skying up to get one rather easily is Reynolds, and he gets the putback.
Yeah, and it's almost like scoring 4 points there, right? Because they don't turn the basketball over.
Luckily, that's just their first offensive rebound of the game. Spin move there by Tony Rochek, and he got fouled. And
that's a break on that call there.
And Tavion Callum, the 6'8 sophomore, the Ole Miss transfer rather, with the foul. And so free throws coming when we come out of this break. Early on, you see San Diego with a 10-8 lead over the Bakersfield Runners.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you.
If you're always asking...
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel. If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
The 2022 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships presented by the Hawaiian Islands tips off March 8th through the 12th at the brand new Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Reserve your seats today at your favorite team's athletic ticket office. Go to bigwest.org/2022 for more information.
Tony Rochek at the line, coming out of the media break for two after the Tavion Callum foul, which is his first of the game, the third on the Roadrunners.
I'll be honest with you, I thought that was a pretty clean block.
6 for Tony in the early going. Perfect 4 for 4 from the charity stripe.
Now the Tritons applying some pressure in the backcourt.
Halfway point of the Big West Conference season. You play 20 conference games. And of course, some teams, have already 4 misses, like this Bakersfield team. Lost 4 consecutive Big West games after playing an opener in late December. 5 to go on the shot clock. Walker passes it up. This is Higgins with a deep 3. It missed. And a chance to clear the offensive rebound missed by the Runners. So a defensive rebound for Rochek.
Like that, seeing 3 Tritons battling for that rebound.
43% clip is what Bakersfield's shooting in the early going. 3 of 7. Meantime, the Tritons are 3 of 4. 4-point advantage. Here's Pope driving past Callum. And he drives right in. Great take by Pope for the bucket.
Yeah, Callum got lost defensively there, and Pope taking advantage.
Bryce had a dozen against Cal Poly, but he did not have a 2 in that game. He was 4 of 10 shooting 3s in that game.
Tritons switched up their defense here, matchup zone now.
Higgins pulls up from 16 and shoots it right over Killingsworth for the bucket. Pope got the screen high, drives in, kick out, Rockamore. Rochek puts it on the floor, little Euro step. Corner, Killingsworth, catch and shoot 3 is down. Jake Killingsworth 2 for 2.
That's when the Tritons are doing things right. 4 different players touch the basketball and they finish it off with a 3.
A Saturday ago at Fullerton, Jake couldn't miss. He was 6 of 7 from the field. He made 4 of 5 threes, and then he couldn't hit on Thursday in this building. Higgins runs down his own offensive rebound, kicks it back out. Callum, and he missed. And that one tipped out of there by Pope right to Killingsworth.
Good battle by Pope, had to tip it a couple times.
Shot on the way, Kosikowski. Oh, the igniter with a big three.
That's the sweet spot, right? That right wing. He likes that in the right corner as well.
48 hours ago, the Tritons missed their first 7 3-point opportunities. They've made 3 of 4 to begin things here against Bakersfield. They've got a 10-point early lead, their biggest of the night. Not even 7 minutes in. Walker pulls up and drains the 3. First made triple in 5 attempts for Bakersfield. Walker averages 11 points per game. He played last season at South Alabama. Actually averages 5 points here. He averaged 11 at South Alabama last year, beg your pardon.
I don't know how intense this early game is. Both coaches up off the bench right now.
The floater goes down and count it. Bryce Pope. They're going to call a blocking foul against the Runners.
Yeah, he was in the restricted area, I do believe, and Pope took advantage of it.
Justin Edler-Davis with his first personal, the 4th team foul against the Runners. Lacoria back in, Rochak out. We saw that happen the other day, Pope against Cal Poly, right? And he did it when he was playing with 2 fouls, if I'm not mistaken, and in the first half.
Really good at creating off the dribble. Was not in the restricted area. He's actually above that arc. They just said he didn't get set. Rod Barnes didn't argue it.
Tritons a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. The bonus here by Pope. Bryce with 4 in the early going. And Bryce with 5 in the early going, stretching the lead out. 23-13, back to a 10-point advantage for the Tritons.
Tritons trying to beat Bakersfield for just the 2nd time in 19 tries.
Yeah, Rod Barnes was 2-0 against UC San Diego in his 11th season. And the Roadrunners up at the Icardo Center swept the Tritons last year in 2 games. Another great offensive rebound and stick in the second chance opportunity is Cameron Smith.
Yeah, just out-muscled everybody there.
They now have 3 offensive rebounds and 4 second chance points and a takeaway.
Good job there by Higgins anticipating that pass.
And Higgins kicks into the corner looking for an assist, and he'll get it as Edler-Davis buries the corner 3. Bakersfield right back in it. Even though the Tritons have gone 5 for their last 5 from the floor, that 10-point lead has evaporated. 11:52 to go in the first half. 5-point advantage for UC San Diego.
The first to experience a whole new era of Big West basketball. Gather your friends and pack the brand new Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada for the 2022 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships presented by the Hawaiian Islands. 20 men's and women's teams take the court March 8th through the 12th, fighting to take the Big West to the next level. Get tickets at your team's athletic ticket office or visit bigwest.org/2022.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Steve Quist, Ted Mendenhall back with you inside RE/MAC Arena, where we will remain fanless through at least February the 6th now, we're being told. 5 in a row for the Runners. What was a 10-point lead for the Tritons moments ago is down to 5. And Edler-Davis just hit a 3 off of a turnover. And so that's the first points off of turnovers for either side here tonight. It took almost 9 full minutes to have that happen.
Tritons need to do a better job of boxing out. 3 offensive rebounds for Bakersfield to none for UC San Diego, and because of that, at least part of it, they've taken 6 more shots than the Tritons have.
Eric Olin did tell us one of the keys tonight would be to protect the basketball, and they've only turned it over 2 times. Doing a much better job after the 18 giveaways against Cal Poly 48 hours ago in this building. Lacoria with a touch on the post. McCall picks him up. 12 to shoot. Kosikowski off the bench had a big 3 moments ago. Killingsworth hasn't missed a shot. He'll try and go 3 for 3, and down it goes. 3 straight triples here for Jake Killingsworth.
Keep feeding the man.
Averages 7.4 points per game. He's got a quick 9 to lead all scorers in this game.
Trying sticking with this matchup zone.
That ended the 5-0 run. They get a touch in the middle to Edler Davis on that zone. Try and slow down Pinocchio for the first time. Dolph nearly turned it over. Ball is loose. Who's going to get the 50-50 ball? It'll be UC San Diego basketball.
Well, I tell you what, Caden Rashid has really been a defensive presence for the Tritons in the second half of the season.
I would agree with you. Watching back that Cal Poly game a couple of times, man, he was in the right place for takeaways and steals. He was always in the passing lane, and a big reason why the Mustangs of Cal Poly turned it over 24 times on Thursday night. After the 5-0 run, big 3 by Killingsworth. 8-point game, almost halfway home in this first half. Rockamore looking for a screen. Rashid has it now. Rashid around the Wacoria pick. Nothing there. Rockamore extra pass. Wacoria, we haven't seen him take a 3 in a few games. He missed, but they get the offensive rebound.
And he's a decent 3-point shooter. 33% this year.
Giving the runners a taste of their own medicine. That's a deep 2 from Rockamore, the redshirt sophomore, and came up short.
Tritons like this zone.
Right into the middle of it. Cameron Smith, Bino they call him, miss, and a 1-and-done for Bakersfield as Wacoria has the rebound.
Good effort there by Wacoria.
Chance at another 3. If at first you do not succeed, try again, and Wacoria buries the triple.
Well, that's really important too, especially with Stith back in the game. If you can draw him out of the paint, that'll open some lanes to drive to the rack.
They're 5 of 7 from beyond the arc in the early going of the Tritons. On the drive, the baseline floater is too long out of the hands of David Walker. In transition, Kosikowski pulls up for a transition 3. Missed off the back of the rim. Pinocchio with a rebound.
Not a bad situation for him there, though, with the defense not able to get back.
Yep, Triton defense did get back in transition right there. Again to Smith in the middle of the zone. That's the soft spot. And this time, Cameron Smith, 6'7" junior, makes the shot.
Yeah, if you think the Tritons are going to run away with this, take a look at what Bakersfield has done this year. In their 4 Big West losses, it's been by 4 points on average and no more than 6.
Rochak is fouled as he went up near the rim.
So don't be surprised we get down to the final 2 minutes and it's a 1-possession game.
Cameron Smith with the personal foul. That's going to be the second on Cameron Smith, who is coming off a career high at Irvine on Thursday night. He had 7 rebounds in that game. Big, strong scoring effort, too.
Steve, I really like the aggressiveness early on of the Triton post players. This is Rochek's 5th and 6th free throws already, and Wacoria has the other one. So it's going to be 8 free throws already in the first half between their 2 big men.
Cameron Smith, his career high was 13 at Irvine on Thursday. Tony Rochak here.
Saw a really frustrated Tony Rochak on Thursday night, didn't we? And some of it he was probably frustrated with himself.
Made 1 of 2. Tony had 14 points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists against Cal Poly. He also drew 10 fouls, but he had those 7 big turnovers. A lot of them because of his aggression, right? He gets a lot of charges because he likes to take it to the hoop. On the double team, recognized by Stith. They work it around the perimeter, getting good touches here. Higgins lets his defender fly by, takes the free throw line jumper and hits it.
Oh, that's a good way to get the Tritons out of what they're doing. They're hedging on any ball that goes in the post.
4 for Higgins on 2 of 5 shooting. He's a 5'10" sophomore, a JUCO transfer, first season at Bakersfield. Rochak to a cutting Caden Rashid, who probably had a chance to make a better take than that, and they settle for a Rockamore three, and he missed. It could have been a little tighter possession there for the Tritons.
Yeah, it was. They were a little helter-skelter on that one, although it was a decent look for Rockamore nonetheless.
We're in the break zone now. Pope and Killingsworth want to come back in. They won't get a chance. Next dead ball. We'll go to the break. Pinopio around the screen by Edler Davis. 7 to shoot. Ball is loose. Edler Davis has it. Rises up for a three in front of the Triton bench and hits another huge three for Bakersfield.
Yeah, with just 4 on the shot clock, Tritons played really good defense there. He just hit the shot.
He's got 6, 2 huge threes to stem the tide both times. And now it's a 5-point game after the Tritons were up by as many as 11 in this first half. Rashid, uncontested three, in and out. LaCoria almost secured the offensive board. Playing right through that break zone. Pope and Killingsworth, they have that look on their face. They know that there's no chance they're getting in until after the break. Stith comes up for a high screen. Going around it is Rashid. Good job. Here's McCall. McCall's their leading scorer at 10 points per game. He's been held scoreless on 0-2 shooting. Cross-court pass from Pinopio. Defender flies by. Three on the way. In and out. Out of the hands of Edler Davis. And it's last touched by the Tritons. So when we come back, we'll have Pope Killingsworth in. There'll be 20 on the shot clock. 6:48 to go on the game clock. And Bakersfield will have the basketball. 5-point advantage. Oh, and Jake Killingsworth has come to play. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc for Killingsworth in his 6th year, the Columbia transfer. Big reason why the Tritons are out to a 5-point lead late into this first half.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
What is an overpass?
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
It's amazing. He's talking about motorcycle insurance, and people love it.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
Well, it's easier than ever to get to campus on the new UC San Diego Blue Line trolley extension. 9 new stations link the trolley from the border with Mexico through downtown and all the way to UTC. Avoid traffic and take the trolley to Triton games, campus events, or UC San Diego Health. Learn more at sdmts.com.
Bakersfield will inbound coming out of the timeout. They get it to the corner to Higgins. No points for the Tritons in the last 2-11. And the Runners within 5 on the road coming out of the break. Bakersfield was down 11 at the 10-minute mark here of the first half. 7 to shoot. Edler Davis. He's out of Morse High School here in San Diego. Can't get the friendly hometown bounce, and LaCoria has the board.
Well, it's like you're playing Air Force tonight. They keep taking that shot clock all the way down.
Surprisingly, just the second rebound of the game for LaCoria. Felt like he's had his mitts on everything. Off the give and go, and it is Rocek inside to a cutting Wakoria for the bucket.
Well, that's another part of Rocek's game that's really good, and he was getting on Wakoria the other night for not cutting to the hoop. They're back on the same page.
8 now for Francis Wakoria, the freshman from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This shot there on the 3 by Dolph Pinopio, who's from Rome, Italy. JUCO here in the States last year, and Rocek lost the handle on it. Out of bounds for what is just the 3rd turnover the first half for UC San Diego.
Well, that was an opportunity to come out of the timeout with a 4-0 run. See if the runners can take advantage of it.
Back up to a 7-point lead here for the Tritons, but Bakersfield has the basketball. Runners 6 and 8 overall, 1 and 4 in the Big West. That's tied for 8th. And on the baseline runner, there's the big size. Count the bucket there.
Flop warning on Wakoria.
Edward
we haven't
Davis.
seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, and they're all going to call a foul. Nope, no foul, just the flop warning.
I mean, he barely plays them and goes down like that.
So I know inside PA said foul, but that's not the case. Just the flop warning, the bucket is scored. A little bit of pressure here. McCall with his first points of the game. Their leading scorer. Took a while for him to get his first made field goal of the game. Killingsworth to a cutting Rockamore, and at the rim he's fouled by Stith.
Yeah, Stith upset with himself, letting him blow by him like that, and then complicating matters with the foul that'll put him on the line.
Another set of free throws here for the Tritons. They're going to get to the free throw line at least 10 times here in this first half.
Which is also an improvement from a couple nights ago.
Yep, Stith with his 2nd personal foul. 7 team fouls for the Runners. You want to talk about a home court advantage. Look at the team fouls for the Tritons on the board, partner. Just 1.
Well, the Tritons have been the aggressors. Bakersfield's been, as I mentioned, taking the clock all the way down. They're getting shots off with 4 on the shot clock on a regular basis.
Rocek has the only foul of the first half for the Tritons, and that was his typical early foul on defense, trying to guard a much bigger guy in the post.
By the way, to emphasize the point, Tritons with just 9 free throws the other night.
Inside of 5 minutes to go. 7-point advantage for UC San Diego. Higgins over Rocek with the floater. No, the tap won't go. And they got another offensive rebound. My goodness. Fresh 22nd shot clock. Here's Higgins driving left and tried the little reverse, making it very difficult was Rocek, so he made that a tough 2.
Yeah, great job by Rocek. Forced him under the basket.
Wakoria sets the screen, rolls off of it. Rockamore drives in. Rockamore against Pinopio. Got a little body on him, got the defender off of him, and scores the bucket.
Good patience there by Rockamore. Preserving order here, back to 9-point lead.
Average is almost 7 points a game. He has 4 as Jace Rockamore, the redshirt sophomore, Henderson, Nevada. Wakoria nearly got a steal, ball loose and knocked right into the hands of Rockamore, ahead to Pope, and that's going to be basket interference.
I'll take your pick. That was going to either be Pope finishing it off or Rocek with a flush.
That's points 6 and 7 of the night for Pope on the basket interference. The lead is now 11, matching the biggest of the game for the UC San Diego Tritons, who are up 38-27 inside Remac Arena.
There's always that someone who stands out from the rest. Those who do something most would never dare to attempt. There's always that someone who will make a difference. Thinking, pushing, asking, solving. Just imagine what 75,000 of those someones can do.
This is called momentum. And there's no off-season. It's work that builds on itself. Over and over and over again. No perfect scenario, no perfect conditions, just a continuous journey of improvement. Through training, through competing, through recovery. Because the only way is through.
When you're on the go, you want something quick and quality. Make Board and Brew your go-to. We've been keeping it real since '79 with fresh breads and freshly roasted meats for our sandwiches, and a secret sauce with its own cult following. Each sandwich is made from scratch using real ingredients like house-roasted turkey breast, avocado, and fresh baked bread. Order online or with our app for freshness at your fingertips.
Second 11-point lead of the game for UC San Diego. Tritons currently on a 6-0 run here, the last 121. They've made 3 of their last 3 from the field.
Both teams doing a really good job of taking care of the basketball. Just a combined 6 turnovers. Points off turnovers favoring the runners, but it's just 5-2.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because we had mentioned this, but we can dive a little deeper into it. 6th fewest turnovers in the NCAA for Bakersfield. They lead the Big West, and their defense forces 15 turnovers a game. But the Tritons have only given it away 3 times. Whistle on the baseline, and Tony Rochak picks up his 2nd here with 3:44 to go. You bring him to the bench, I think Eric's going to do it.
For sure, especially when you've got a little bit of a lead here.
Tony leaves with 7 points in 15 minutes, and Jake Kosakowski comes back in. Higgins to trigger the inbound for the Runners underneath their own basket. They're a very athletic team, and he turns it over. Boy, we were just talking about turnovers. Just their 4th giveaway in transition. Kosakowski drives, Killingsworth. Rockamore coming off a 5-assist game on Thursday against Cal Poly, almost 3 assists a game on average. Kosakowski gives to Rockamore, and a whistle, and ball goes out of bounds. And taking a tumble right there is Jace.
Yeah, I think he stepped on someone's foot.
Little indecision there whether or not he wanted to score or pass the ball, so I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do right there.
I think he was trying to kick it to the corner there. Now he's trying to walk it off. I think he tweaked the ankle just a little. Yeah, you see him stretching it out a little bit. Take another look at it here. Yeah, he was going to kick it to the corner, and then he stepped on the foot of his defender. I think that was Caleb Higgins.
Cameron Smith back in for the Runners, giving Sean Stith a blow. 7 to go on the shot clock, 3:18 to go here on the game clock, first half. Pope around the screen by Wakoria, drives over McCall off the window, rattles in and out.
Tried the Top Gun move there, hit the brakes, he flew right by, but could not finish it off.
3:03 to go. 9-point advantage, and trying to throw it down like he did in warm-ups was McCall, and they get it back on the offensive glass.
Yeah, just a lucky bounce for the Runners there.
5 offensive rebounds. They were 9th last year in all of NCAA Division I basketball in offensive rebounding. And on the drive, there's a foul. Their first this year are the Roadrunners in the Big West Conference with almost 12 offensive rebounds a game. So they have 5 right now. Still got a long way to go in this game. Put them up to 6 now, so they're halfway to their average. McCall will go to the line here after Wakoria commits his first foul. It's the 3rd team foul against the Tritons.
Well, they've had a lot of different starting lineups this year, but Justin McCall has been in all of them. He's the only one to have started all 15 games for them. His father, Greg McCall, is the women's basketball head coach at Bakersfield, and he's got 2 sisters in the WNBA.
127th career game in his 5th season. Approaching the 700-point club at Bakersfield. The 6'6" senior out of Ridgeview High School in Bakersfield. Kosakowski lines it up and buries it.
Yeah, this lineup has a chance to bury him at the end of the half here with Killingsworth, Pope, and Kosakowski out there.
Triton shooting 54.5%, 6 of 11 from beyond the arc, and they've taken their biggest lead of the game at 41-28. The answer for 3, missed off the back of the rim by Justin Edler Davis, who's 10th in career points at Bakersfield with 1,106, and tack on 2 more right there. He's got 8 in this game. He's the leading scorer for Bakersfield.
It's now 7 offensive rebounds for Bakersfield to just 1 for UC San Diego.
Love seeing the local kids do well. He was a Big West honorable mention last season. Was Edler Davis, and look at Wakoria get to the rack and slam it home.
Make a poster out of that one.
Throw it down, big fella. LaCoria with 10, first on either side to double figures. He's 4 for 5 from the field. They have no answer for him.
So good to see him do that. We haven't seen that for a while from him.
Taking advantage of Stiff being on the bench here for Rod Barnes and the Roadrunners. Travis Henson in for the first time for Rod Barnes' team. Here's McCall off the dribble. Kick to the corner, elevating for a three that went in and out was Henson. JUCO transfer. They got another offensive rebound. Smith has it against Killingsworth, puts it up, and it's finally secured by Kosikowski. Well, if you're going to give up offensive rebounds, and that's the 8th one that the Roadrunners have, don't let them get second chance points.
Tritons already at their biggest first half score in the Big West this year.
Chance at a power play, if you will, for the Runners. Couple down and a whistle.
And put this in perspective, partner, they only scored 55 on Thursday night.
Yeah. Foul on Killingsworth. That's going to be his first, 4th team foul. Now, since it's the 4th team foul, the Runners are going to have to dispatch Caleb Higgins, the sophomore JUCO transfer, to inbound it. Final minute, 13-point advantage for UC San Diego.
Bakersfield doesn't seem inclined to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see if they get Cameron Smith in the middle of the zone. He gets a touch on the baseline, pulls the trigger on a 15-footer and scores it. Bino Smith. Second year in the program, almost 5 points a game, and again coming off that career-high 13 at Irvine on Thursday with 7 boards. Keeps him in it here. Shot clock is off. So the Tritons can play for the final shot and perhaps a 13 or 14-point lead heading into the break. Pope wants the latter of the leads, and that's going to be a foul on LaCoria.
A hard fall.
That's the second on Francis LaCoria. It comes with 3.7 to go, and I think I'd get him off the bench or onto the bench right now.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
Got to come out with the 2, but great body of work in the first half for the big body in LaCoria. 10 points, 2 rebounds in 16 minutes on the floor. Here's the inbound. Catching it here is Henson. Launches from beyond half court and almost banked it in. I'd say that's a terrific first half for UC San Diego after what we witnessed on Thursday. 43 first half points for the Tritons as they shoot 61% from the floor. They hit 6 threes, and the Tritons have an 11-point lead over Bakersfield here at the break. We're back with our statistics and a look at first half highlights from RE/MAC Arena right after this.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. 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 A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
What is an overpass? Come.
Panthers, Rangers, Tuesday on ESPN+.
Welcome back to Remac Arena, where the Tritons have the lead at the half, 43-32 over Bakersfield. And we want to recognize our UC San Diego Athletes of the Week. Congratulations to Bennett Bagaley from Women's Water Polo and Spencer Daly from UC San Diego Swim and Dive.
Tritons with 43 first-half points, and that is their best first-half output in Big West Conference play this year. Remember, they only scored 55 points total against Cal Poly Thursday, so quite the turnaround. First-half statistics brought to you by Mr. Friesman. Mr. Friesman is the official French fry of the Big West Conference.
Well, I need the John Madden telestrator here. Put a big circle around those percentages for UC San Diego. On fire from all over the place, but most importantly from three-point land. That's where they make their bread and butter. The one thing that's not showing on there is the offensive rebounding. That's keeping Bakersfield in this game. They lead in offensive rebounding 8-1, and that has led to 7 second chance points, keeping them within striking distance in this game.
And they've cleaned up the turnovers. They had 18 against Cal Poly on Thursday, just 3 in the first half. And again, it's a Bakersfield team that's quick and athletic, and they love to turn teams over about 15 times a game. I'd say the Tritons are at a good spot here at the break. They have a 43-32 lead over the Runners of Bakersfield. When we come back, a conversation with Brad Kreutzkamp, the women's water polo coach here at UC San Diego. That comes your way next.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Oh,
you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds.
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you all...
The tournament premieres February 7th at 9 on ACC Network.
We're talking women's water polo now with head coach Brad Kreutzkamp, 5-time coach of the year, 13 years now at UC San Diego. So you guys now are in your 3rd season of Big West play, but your 2nd full season. We sort of know what happened in 2020. What did you guys learn in 2021 from playing in the Big West and having a full run of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, we've played all the teams in the Big West, every year, even before we were in the Big West, but playing them with conference ramifications on the line clearly added a lot more stress and a lot more preparation. You could not take any weekend off. In fact, it was right back on the horse after every single weekend. With last year's kind of different schedule, you played them twice in every weekend. So, that was challenging. It was really challenging. These we knew coming in that it was going to be, but it obviously proved that playing these Big West opponents is no easy task.
I'm really fascinated by Kira Franke. Her dad's one of your coaches, and of course, she was the 2021 Big West Player of the Year, and also is a swimmer. And those sports are at the same time. It's not like one's in the fall; they're both in the spring. Talk to me about her, how important she is, and then I want to follow up on how hard it is to do 2 things and kind of what the logistics are.
Yeah, she is everything everyone writes about. She really is. She's one of those unique athletes that you take physical talent and combine it with hard work and watch them grow. She is not only generally the fastest person in the pool, she's one of the tallest, if not the tallest. She shoots the hell out of the ball. And she is just an absolute anchor in rock, and I shudder what's going to happen when we don't have her next year. But not only that, but she is one of those players that make everybody better around her. Part of the recruiting process with Kira was that she wanted to do both sports, and that both coaches had to be flexible with that. It starts with Kira. It starts with what's important, what might be really important, which ones aren't, and which games are important for us and which ones might not be. Other than that, it's matched up pretty well. Our overlap isn't as big as people think. It's just the practices. And quite frankly, if she's not in one of my practices, I know how hard she's swimming, so I know that she's staying in shape.
Let's talk about you for a moment. You passed legendary coach Denny Harper, right, to become the all-time wins leader at UC San Diego. How significant was that for you?
I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty cool thing to have. It is. I've been here for 13 years as the women's coach, but I was here for a decade with Denny, coaching with him on the men's side. And so that's how I got my start. And, we're like brothers. And I learned a lot from him. And to know that it was him that I was creeping up on and then eventually passing is pretty cool and surreal at the same time. It is. It's a combination of having good teams, good players, great coaches, and longevity. You have to be here a while to be able to do it. And so, you blink your eyes. And when I started this back in 1999, and I wake up and I can't believe it's 2022 and we're still doing this.
In February, you have the Triton Invitational coming up. How special of an event is that for you?
I love our tournament so much because it is the only tournament of the entire year in women's water polo that is a true championship format and on the same site. We have 2 pools on site, and you can come down to Canyon View Pool and see back to back to back to back games. We stagger them all day long. If you're just a straight water polo fan, or even if you're not, come down here. It is a really exciting weekend.
Brad Kreutzkamp, everybody. Thanks, Brad, for the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Steve, thanks for having me.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you all...
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Hard work, Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this...
If you're always asking...
A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home
I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this...
It's Saturday prime time.
Knicks Lakers on ABC.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
If you're always asking...
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
What is an overpass?
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds.
First half highlights brought to you by Board and Brew. Tritons by 11 here at the break.
It's been an entertaining first half. Both teams not turning the ball over very often, just a combined 7 turnovers between the two. Some of the keys in this game, the Tritons are just shooting red hot, 61% for the field, and for Bakersfield staying in this game thanks to 8 rebounds and 7 second chance points.
And 6 assists in the game for Jace Rockamore, we should mention. Francis McCory, the leading scorer, 10 points. Jake Killingsworth, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc early, 9 points. I mean, the splits, as far as shooting's concerned, you mentioned 61%, 46% from beyond the arc, 90% from the free throw line. But need I mention this? This is the exact same situation we were in Thursday night, right?
Oh, man,
An
yeah.
11-point halftime lead. Then it was 33-22. Tritons against Cal Poly, and the Mustangs had the ball first. Tritons got up to a 13-point advantage, but shot just 26% in the second half on Thursday and lost.
Well, it's big that Wakori has got those 10 too, because Rochek has got 7, but 5 of those are from the line.
Tony to spin move, and there was contact.
He's
He got
going to get a
grabbed
chance
there,
for 2 more.
Cameron Smith with the foul. That's the 3rd on Cameron Smith, so he becomes the first guy in foul trouble for Rod Barnes, who's in his 11th season. Runners are picked to finish 5th in the Big West by the coaches, 6th by the media. And a couple of guys enter the transfer portal here in the month of January. Ray Summersville and Sean Williams, who's a really good guard and a Kansas State transfer. They don't have all the pieces, although the roster's fully healthy, like we told you at the beginning. They don't have every single piece.
There's Rod Barnes. His first 9 years they played in the WAC. Took him to the NCAA tournament in the 15-16 season.
Yep, second season in the Big West. 17-1 lifetime against the Tritons. Remember how good they were in Division II before Barnes got there, when Pat Douglas was there in the 90s. You had Justin Hudson, Fresno State coach, playing there. That's David Walker on the baseline for a bucket.
They steamrolled the CCAA.
Without question. Corner Rochak. Off the dribble, going to drive on Higgins. No look pass went to Killingsworth, to Pope, who missed. Offensive rebound by Wakoria. Rockamore with a 6th assist, looking for a 7th. And off the front of the rim, that ball wouldn't fall. First miss for Killingsworth from beyond the arc. And it's going to be a foul on Tony Rochek. Now that's the 3rd on Tony.
Yeah, he turned to Eric Olin and said, I'm good, and coach is going to let him stay in.
3rd foul, less than a minute in. And with the Tritons up by 11 at the 19:04 mark, so write that one down. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite him. Into the corner to McCall, the leading scorer at 10 a game, only had 3 in the first half for Bakersfield. Did a nice job defensively on him. 10 to shoot. Rising up is David Walker, goes in and out. Offensive rebound, it'll put back there by Justin Edler Davis out of Morse High School.
Well, that's keeping him in it. Another second chance point.
10 for Elder Davis. That gives him 1,116 points, 10th most ever at Cal State Bakersfield. Little stop on a dime, Tony Rochak, and rewards his coach for leaving him in with 3 personals.
Yeah, nice job against Justin McCall there.
Tony, the leading scorer in this game with 11 points. 5th in the Big West in scoring at almost 16 a game. 6th in rebounding at almost 7 boards a game. Into the middle of that zone, Edler Davis. That's a sweet little jumper just left of the lane. He's got a dozen. 9-point game, just over 2 minutes in. Rochak spin move, the finger roll goes for Tony Rochak. That's 13 for Tony.
Yeah, just keep feeding Rochak right now. He's in his zone.
He's had some solid games, a 20-point game, an 18-point game, 20-point game at Fullerton, and 15 on Thursday. He's got 13 here. Walker drives, cut off by Killingsworth. He's going to go for a second time, and that time Wakoria got a piece of it, but they get it back. Edler Davis spots up a 3. And Wakoria's got another board.
The Tritons playing really good team ball on both ends of the floor.
Trying to get it inside. That thing almost bounced in off of Wakoria, got hit in the face and is down.
Yeah, he got kicked.
5 on 4 coming back. That thing somehow almost went in. Wakoria trying to race back. That shot missed by Edler Davis.
He might need a timeout.
Pope drive, Rockamore right into the lane. Francis rolls off of the screen, catches, moves in on McCall, and McCall fouls him.
Boy, that is just really tough on Macoria's part. I mean, he was still blinking out the cobwebs. Yep. You can still see it now as he's getting ready to go to the line.
Playing with just one eye, probably a double vision in the other. You know how that thing hurts, right? When you just got to blink, 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 and then kind of hold it shut. And then rub it.
Yeah, he's still, I wonder how many rims he sees right now.
Yeah, you look at it, expression on his face. He'll go to the line for 2 after the foul on McCall is his 2nd. Caden Rashid is about ready to check in, and they're going to give Francis an extra second. Then they're going to say, all right, you can go off the floor.
Now they're going to give him some extra time. Well, that's good because, I mean, obviously the player's health is first and foremost.
And they're going to go over and look at this. So I think this is an official's timeout. Nobody officially called the timeout. I didn't hear a whistle or anything like that. You know, sometimes in a situation like that, the Tritons could get Wakoria out, but then Bakersfield would be able to elect, right, who could come in and shoot the free throws.
That's right. And then would he still be able to come back in is the question.
So he's got a towel now. And I'm not sure if there was a clock issue. We had one, 4 seconds into the game on Thursday. There you look at Corey.
Well, the good news is they are not attending to him with a trainer.
I'm not sure if Eric maybe said something to our officiating crew and said, hey, why don't you go back and check to see if that was a flagrant 1 when Wakoria got hit and knocked to the ground earlier. I don't think it was.
I don't either.
It was completely inadvertent. It just happens to basketball play. As it stands, the foul's on McCall, and Wakoria is going to have 2 free throws. Talked about the Tritons getting there 12 times in the first half. They went 11 of 12. Well, check it. They went there 10 times in the first half. They've been there twice in the second half.
Rod Barnes kind of with a grin on his face. He is not happy about this timeout at all.
Levon Zakarian, Ryan McCarty, and Doran Gottschall are our officials, and they did turn down around the monitor to look to see if Wacoria was hit in what could have been a flagrant one. They did not call a foul at all, but they have a chance to go back and look. And that, of course, buys Wacoria some extra time to get the right eye, I assume, ready to go. This is a more lengthy discussion if there wasn't a little something there. Again, I thought it was a basketball play, to be honest.
Seeing the tail end of it as he was coming down, he appeared to get kicks somewhere in the head.
Here we have it here. It's against McCall, and let's see. I don't think that's not. I don't think that's what they're looking at.
Right after this.
Yeah. So he doesn't get hit at all. He
already. Yeah, that was leading to him going to the free throw line. So it was the previous time down the floor where he got hit.
Right. He gets hit. Then Bakersfield goes on offense. He's got to try and get back on defense. And the officials are talking about it.
Well, I think there's going to be a foul here. I could read Rod Barnes' lips. He just said, no way.
So we may be getting a flagrant one here, and that would mean Wacoria will get 2 free throws, and then he would get the wow, they did, in fact, charge a flagrant one to Sean Stiff. So Wacoria is going to shoot 2. Then I think he gets technical fouls, and then they might get the ball out of bounds.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
And so Wacoria missed the first. So they went back and looked at it. The shot we showed you was not what the officials were looking at. They were looking at the play prior. We might not have gotten a good look at it because it was well behind all the action. All right, so now Wacoria gets 2 of the technical fouls here after making 1 of 2 on the McCall foul. And Stith is asking for an explanation in front of us. And for Stith, he now has 3 fouls. All right, Wacoria makes 3 of 4. He makes the 2 technicals. He makes 1 of 2, and the Tritons get the ball. So a chance at maybe a 6-point swing. You put 20 seconds on the shot clock here. This is crazy. I have not seen this in quite a while. If you get a 3 here, that's going to be a 6-point swing. 52-38, biggest lead of the ball game, 14 for the UC San Diego Tritons. On the drive, Rashid out to Killingsworth, and he missed it, rebounded by David Walker. So, as it was, just a 3-point swing.
Yeah, it was an opportunity for an early potential dagger.
Almost 4 minutes in. There's that zone by the Tritons. McCall kicks to the corner. Edler Davis pulls up for a deep 2, and swish. He's got a nice little jumper there.
Well, and the Tritons playing that zone, they're trying to give up jump shots and not passes into Stith where he can easily score around the rim.
14 for Edler Davis in his 5th season at Bakersfield. We told you 10th all-time in scoring. Only averages 9 points a game, having a game of the year. Rashid, a 3 is good. Tickles the twine right there for Rashid out of Santa Margarita High School in Orange County. And a foul on the other end. They're going to get an offensive foul. Rochak takes the charge.
Yeah, we'll have to see when the next printout comes out how many fouls Rochak has drawn, because it's got to be 5, maybe 6 already.
That was remarkable the other night. He drew 10 fouls. Now, on the interest of fairness.
They switched it here.
Did they? Cameron Pierce also in that game. The point guard for Cal Poly also drew 10 fouls. And so this might, if this goes against Tony as a charge, then that's going to be his 4th. 15:39 to go. We'll take a break, sort it out when we come back. They're checking on the monitor one more time. 15:39 to go here in regulation. 15-point lead for UC San Diego.
Malama Aina, to care for the land is an engagement between people and place. When we all malama, there's nothing we can't change.
Learn how you can Malama Hawaii at gohawaii.com/malama.
I wanted to wake up to the sound of the ocean.
Sun and surf. That's what we were looking for.
But the moment we arrived, we found so much more. We found beauty.
We found adventure.
We found a place we'll never, ever forget.
What is the Big West? The Big West is where the Aloha spirit meets California cool. It's a place of unlimited opportunity on the court, in the classroom, and in the community. We're built different in the Big West. We find a way to win with hustle, heart, and hard work. What is the Big West? It's the place where dreams come true. The Big West. Only the bold.
All right, the rare double foul was just called as we welcome you back to RE/MAC Arena. So the first one, the blocking foul called on Walker, that's his second, but a charge also called on Tony Rocek. So one official called a block, the other called a foul, so they both get called for a foul, and then it goes back to the point of interruption, which is where Cal State Bakersfield has the ball now.
And that is advantage Bakersfield big time.
Yeah, because you got now Tony out with his fourth when they're up 15 with 15:39 to go. McCall rising up from 15 and knocking down the jumper, and here come the runners.
They're going to ask a lot of Wakoria now. He's got 13.
McCall with 5. Not even 5 minutes into the second half. Rockamore guarding him was Walker. Down to LaCoria with Stith picking him up. Handoff to Rashid. Tries another three and clanks it. Smith, the defensive rebound, and in transition, here come the runners.
Yeah, this feels like a really big opportunity for them to switch the momentum, much like we saw in the game against Cal Poly.
It's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before. I've seen the double fouls before, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a blocked and H charge called at the same time.
No, I haven't.
And then you go back to the point of interruption. And Smith, and that one was blocked near the rim. I think Wakoria got another one. It's going to be the second block of the game for either team. I think it's the second for Francis Wakoria. And inside the pass goes to Wakoria, and he's fouled by Cameron Smith.
Rockamore, man, he does such a great job of finding the open man. You double team him, most times you're going to pay the price.
Yeah, 6 assists, was looking for a 7th right there. Foul was on Smith, so Cameron Smith picks up his 4th, so both teams have a significant piece of the puzzle with 4 personals. Wakoria to the line, and for Rockamore, hit 5 assists the other day, so he's got 11 assists in this 2-game homestand now, averaging almost 3 assists a game, 2.8. That's the 8th best mark in the Big West Conference.
And Triton's getting to the free throw line between Wakoria and Rocek now. That is 15 and 16 for the game.
56-42. Again, Tony Rocek on the bench with 4 fouls at the 15:39 mark with his team up 15. And that is an all Big West caliber player in Tony Rocek. That's the way it's trending for the senior from Geneva, Switzerland. On the drive, Walker over Kosakowski, and it looks like Jake got a piece of him. It comes with 7 to go on the shot clock, 13:59 to go in the second half, and it is on Jake. That's his first.
Set up by the big man Stith there with a very nice screen to get Walker to the free throw line.
13 foul on the Tritons, and so here is Walker to the line. What a career this guy has been. Have basketball will travel, right? College of Southern Idaho to start, then on to Casper College in Wyoming, then South Alabama, now Bakersfield, and he's still considered a sophomore on his fourth stop.
From Toronto, Canada.
Makes it a 13-point game inside of 14 minutes to go.
Good job by Killingsworth, knowing he could run the baseline there.
Thought we might see a little Vulikic in this game, coming back from a tweaked ankle. Justin DeGraff not available for the second straight game with an ankle injury, and neither is London Taylor. And a turnover, rare turnover, and on the run out, here comes Walker, who lays it in.
Costly turnover there by Rashid.
Higgins with his third assist of the game. 11-point game. It was 11 points at half, got up to 15 for the Tritons.
Eric Owens only used 7 players tonight.
Yeah, Vulikic still has the warm-up jersey on. Coming up on 13 minutes to go, Rockamore out to Killingsworth. He recovers, and ball is loose and out of bounds on the runners. So Edler Davis had possession of it, but then when he fell down right in front of us, that's out of bounds.
There's 4 left on the shot clock. Yeah, I thought the pass was going to go to Okoria there. He was rolling with the ball handler, but didn't like the look that he had apparently and passed it back out.
4 seconds to go on the shot clock.
This sounds like a job for Kozakowski.
Yep. And a quick 30-second timeout called by UC San Diego.
In fact, on that inbound play, he was set up in that right corner. You and I will never forget that.
Yep.
When they tied UC Santa Barbara.
All right, breaking the action, 11-point lead for UC San Diego, but Road Shack in foul trouble. Back to Remac Arena after this.
Sarah, you said you were buying a car today.
Dad, it's 4 a.m.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you.
If you're always asking,
a new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the home. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the home.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the home. Today's pros need today's tools, and the home. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the home.
Let's go Knicks, Julius Randle in the clutch. 2-on-1 fast break the pro.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One. Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Before we go any further in this one, let's check out some scores from today around Triton Athletics. The women are 6-2 in the conference. In second place, they won at the Icardo Center. Women's water polo won 2 games. Women's swimming and diving over Cal Baptist, and men's swim and dive over Cal Baptist as well.
Another gritty win for the women. Emily Cangelosi, the hero in that game this afternoon.
Remember, there's 4 to shoot. Deep 3 on the way. Killingsworth, nope. Offensive rebound by Wakoria. May have just saved the day. And the handoff goes to Killingsworth. Underneath, and a great bounce pass to a cutting Wakoria, but he missed it at the rim.
Those were some of the mistakes they were making in the second half 2 days ago. I keep harping on that, but you want to see the Tritons play consistently through.
Man, that was a big opportunity there and a huge empty possession for the Tritons. Walker bounce pass to a doubled Stiff and a turnover as he tried to get it to Reynolds.
Stiff has been very quiet tonight. 4 points, just one shot.
Both teams with 5 turnovers apiece, as you see that on your score, on your score bug there. Jake make it. Tony Rochak's been off the floor now for 3 minutes. Oh, what a pass by Rockamore to Pope, who thought he was fouled, but a block as he went up.
Thought he was fouled as well. You don't see Pope have finishes at the rim fall short unless he's fouled.
That's the first block of the game for the Runners. McCall here in the corner. Edler Davis has had a strong second half. Feeds the low post and Stiff, and they're now not only bringing 2 defenders, but adding a 3rd defender there to make it really tough on the 6'8" senior.
Give the big man the Shaq treatment. Shoots 67% from the free throw line. Make him earn it.
Another break in the action. 11-point lead for UC San Diego with 11:43 to go here in regulation.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
Huh. So if Geico's 85, that makes you...
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds.
What is an overpass? Come.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
Bakersfield with the basketball, down 11. 11:43 to go here in regulation. Get a quick inbound to Sean Stiff. Stiff to the corner. Edler Davis pulls up, makes the 3, misses. Another offensive rebound. McCall has it.
It's 11 now for the Runners.
I got to make sure they don't get second chance points here. Stiff is triple teamed. Finds the open man, sizing up the 3 there, and missing was Reynolds, and that one's out of bounds, headed to the Tritons. Ooh, that could have been deadly.
Dodged a bullet there, yep. Yeah, they had a good look at that 3-point shot.
All right, Tony comes in. All right, so Tony was off the floor by my count for a little over 4 minutes.
Yeah, about 4.5.
Yep, 4:19, and the Tritons had a 15-point lead, and it dropped down to 11. He's playing with 4 fouls. He has 13 points, and Pope drives. What a great take by Bryce Pope.
Hey, you don't stop the basketball. He's just going to take that invitation every time.
9 for Bryce Pope on 4 of 9 shooting. He made 4 3-pointers the other day. It was 4 of 10, missed all his 2-point field goals. Different story here tonight. Here's McCall dribbling through traffic. Good athletic move. Stith, an offensive rebound, throws it back and count it. Oh my goodness. These guys are something else on the offensive glass.
That's 12 offensive rebounds now. They have outscored the Tritons 11-0 in second chance points.
I remember when they were sitting there at 6 offensive rebounds and we said, they're not done, folks. And again, they lead the Big West Conference in 12 offensive rebounds a game. They were 9th last year in all of Division I college basketball in offensive rebounding. And Stith completes the 3-point play, and it's a 10-point lead. Tritons were up by as many as 15 here with 15:47 to go. Rochak playing with 4 fouls and a push on the drive by Tony. And they get Justin McCall. That's his 3rd.
Yeah, got both hands on him. Knew he was about to drive past him, tried to slow him down.
McCall's had a quiet night. He's their leading scorer at 10 points per game, has 5 in his 127th career game at Cal State Bakersfield. 10 to shoot. Killingsworth gets the screen high from McCoria, moves left. He was quickly doubled, back to Rochak. Got to be careful. McCall drives him, 1 to go, and a foul will be called, a push, and the runners bail out Tony Rochak and the Tritons.
Well, we've seen the last couple of opponents really try to draw those charges against Rochak when he goes into the lane. Long Beach State had some really good success, so did Cal Poly, but here's Stith not able to get over in time, and instead it's Rochak that's fouled.
Love that aggression. So that foul will put Tony at the free throw line here in a 10-point game. He's shooting a 1-and-1. And that foul came with 1 second to go on the shot clock. 14
that's
points.
Tough for a defense to play 29 seconds of great defense, and now you're giving up points.
Foul on McCall officially, so that's his 4th. Smith and McCall with 4 apiece. Stith with 3 for Bakersfield. And of course, Tony with 4 for the Tritons, and Francis Wakoria has 3.
Jump for Edler Davis.
Walker, a 3 on the way is good. David Walker has 11.
Boy, this feels familiar, doesn't it? Back down into single digits.
Yes, it does. And remember, in that second half against Cal Poly, the Tritons shot just 26%. They're at 36% in this second half, and that shot won't go out of the hands of Tony. Had a nice look.
That's one of those things that Eric Olin was lamenting, too. Good looks at the basket and not getting the ball to fall through.
Throw it inside, and there's Stith with a bucket.
Timeout. I think the Tritons want a timeout. The officials didn't see it.
Down to a 7-point advantage. It was 15 moments ago. Tony, with that, he would have taken that to the hoop 2 fouls ago. He got a little tentative there. Pope with the floater and the leaner and missed it too long.
They score here, they won't miss the timeout call.
Nope. This is a big defensive possession right here for the Tritons, who sink back into the zone. Edler Davis, the deep 2, missed it. And an offensive rebound, a putback by Walker, and they get away with another one. Yeah, that little sigh that came out of your mouth is what everybody at home is doing the same exact thing. Tony, it's a little erratic there. Killingsworth, Pope, and an offensive foul on Killingsworth.
Oh my goodness, that just cost him a 3.
Yep, taking the charge is Higgins. Boy, that goes back, that's reminiscent of Long Beach State a couple of weeks ago, right? They're coming back from down 20. Same exact thing, they get a corner 3, and on the pass, right?
It's a good call.
You get a charge on the pass, wow. 7-point game, and Tony Rochak's gonna come out now and get a breather here.
Well, Eric Olin sees they were about 40 seconds away from the media timeout, so doesn't want him to pick up that 5th one before that.
It's gotten interesting. Tritons, no field goals their last 229. They're 1 for their last 8 from the floor. 15-point advantages down to 7.
Yeah, what did we say about the runners in conference play?
Higgins a 3. It's a 4-point ball game and a timeout, Eric Olin. Oh, deja vu is all I can say back to 48 hours ago against Cal Poly. A 4-point game, a 2-possession game with 8:22 to go. And the run is 8-0 for the Runners over the last 137.
And the Runners are just starting to hit their shots on a regular basis. 60-56, Tritons hanging on.
There's always that someone who stands out from the rest. Those who do something most would never dare to attempt. Someone who thinks of something no one has ever thought of. Those who think the way no one thinks. There's always that someone who steps up when others give up. Those who ask questions that have never been asked. Someone who creates something out of nothing. Those who try not because they want to, but because they need to, and because the world needs them to.
We represent the powerful forces of change.
There's always that someone who will make a difference. Thinking, pushing, asking, solving. Just imagine what 75,000 of those someones can do.
More than a saying. It's an attitude embodied by UC San Diego Athletics. To be the edge is to continuously excel.
And the Tritons have beaten Riverside 83-82.
To compete boldly and fearlessly. To push beyond limits and keep on pushing. To always be seeking the cutting edge. The competitive edge.
Yeah!
Together. Be the edge. Because average doesn't exist here.
Oh, he got a hold of it.
Oh my goodness.
It's deep. It's gone.
Be the edge.
Time now for our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Francis Wikoria a moment ago.
It's been a really nice bounce back game for him. 14 points, 6 rebounds. Really complimenting Tony Rochek well, and they've needed every bit of it with Rochek in foul trouble now with 4.
Solid last 7 minutes for the Bakersfield Roadrunners. Solid last 97 seconds. They're on an 8-0 run. And a little bit of pressure here as they get it into Pope.
Well, we talked about how the Tritons took good care of the basketball. Well, not so much here in the second half. Now being outscored 10-2 points off turnovers.
Oh, what a blow by Rockamore. He missed the shot, and missing the second chance opportunity was Pope. And the Tritons do not have a single second chance point so far in this game.
Well, and now they have 2 straight trips to the basket that should have been finished.
Higgins drives to the elbow. Meantime, second chance points favor Bakersfield 12-0, and that is a turnover, very uncharacteristic of the Runners.
Have to make them pay.
Yep, just their 6th takeaway as the Tritons look for their first few points in a while off of a turnover. Rochak back in, and a blocking foul. My goodness. How many times have we done the here in the second half?
I thought that was it. I thought Rochek was done.
Yep, that's on Yvonne Reynolds. That's his first, the freshman from Pompano Beach, Florida. And so Tony goes to the line here, 8th team foul.
We know this, when Tony Rochek touches the basketball, something's going to happen.
My goodness, I mean, there's nobody in the building and won't be until at least February the 6th, but there is some nervous energy for those who are here affiliated with this Triton basketball team. You don't want to see this twice in a 48-hour period. This man doesn't mind it.
And it hasn't been for lack of effort. They are playing hard. But they're going to have to create their own breaks. The breaks aren't going to just come to them. It's going to come from their hard work and hustle, as Jack Schumann checks into the game.
17 for Tony Rochek. He's 11 of 12 at the free throw line here.
Interesting. Schumann hasn't played this entire game.
Yeah, he was. Well, my last thing, he was in for 18 seconds, so probably likely at the end of the first half, maybe.
Colorado state transfer.
Yeah, they normally use 11 guys a game, 8 different starting lineups, trying to piece it together with Sean Williams and Ray Summersville moving into the transfer portal here in January.
Speaking of Colorado State, how about them losing to UNLV?
Yeah, that was odd. They've been up and down, right?
Bryce Hamilton scored 40.
I think it was 47.
Oh my goodness.
It was amazing last night. Catch and shoot three. Kosikowski bounces in and out.
That's how it's going right now.
Yep. One empty possession after another. The Tritons are 1 for their last 11. Haven't scored a field goal in 4 minutes. And Edler Davis makes it a 2-point game. Check it, a 4-point game at 62-58.
It just feels like it.
Yeah, I forgot about Tony's free throws. Killingsworth left open and a blocking foul called. Oh, Edler Davis is like, no. Tritons might have gotten bailed out again.
Well, the Tritons now will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. That's the 9th team foul against Bakersfield.
That's the second on Edler Davis, who thought he was set. Imagine having to absorb that twice in 1 half, right?
And then not get credit for it.
Yep. Oh, Rockamore with a miss. Just the front end of the 1-1. Remains 62-48. Just the 4th miss at the free throw line to make it a 1-possession game. It's down out of the hands of Edler Davis. Little home cooking here, the kid out of Morse. At the 15:47 mark, the Tritons had a 15-point lead. They've now got a 1-point advantage. No field goals the last 5 minutes for the Tritons. Wakoria is going to take it for 3. They need it and he hits it. Oh, Francis, what a huge make right there.
Biggest answer of the night so far.
17 points for Francis Wakoria, stretches out the lead to 4. What a great looking freshman. He's got to be on that all freshman team. Around the curl, Edler Davis. He's just not going to go away. What a night. Edler Davis has 22 points, 9 of 18 shooting, 4 of 9 on threes. Again, another 1-point game.
And one of the best players to walk on Bakersfield's campus.
Top 10 in scoring over his 5 seasons at Bakersfield. Big West honorable mention last season. And a whistle.
I like the aggression there by Pope. Take it to them. And now Eric Olin says, you know what? We're going to sit Tony Rochek down until we get to the last media timeout. So that's at least another minute 15.
Fouls on Higgins. That's his first team foul, 10. And Pope shooting 2. He's 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Back to Edler Davis 2 Januaries ago. This was pre-COVID. Went off for 25 points against UMKC. So he's got it in him.
Big West honorable mention last season. This is his 6th year. This is an interesting note. He's the 40th oldest player in the country at 23 years and 8 months as of opening day. So he's an old man.
Big free throw here for Pope. He's in double figures with 11. He makes both of them. Still a 1-possession game at 67-64. Someone's got to guard number 10 here in gold. Walker off the drive, and Walker right past Killingsworth for the bucket. Great take. David Walker gets 5 points a game. David Walker has 13. Walker and Edler Davis, the only 2 in double figures for the Runners.
Kicked ball there by Edler Davis.
Again, another 1-point advantage for the Tritons. 3rd consecutive time after Bakersfield has taken possession of the basketball. They've been down by 1.
Rochek back in now.
We've never been tied in this game. The Tritons, partner, have never trailed. They've led for every single second of this game.
That's in jeopardy.
Yes, it is. Rochak drives against Smith and count it! And that's going to be it for Smith. Cameron Smith. That's his 5th, so he fouls out with 8. And Tony extends it now to a 3-point lead and can make it a 2-possession game here at the line.
And Smith just got the bad news. He was on the floor celebrating, thinking he'd not only drawn a foul, but fouled Rochak out.
So coming off that career-high game at Irvine on Thursday with the 13 points and 7 boards, he has 8 points in 15 minutes. He has been disqualified.
Well, we talked about the frustration with the Tritons in that 1920 season where they had just 1 loss and looked like they were going to make a deep run. Well, Cameron Smith went to Pearl River Community College. They went 28-0, and then their season was canceled.
For the 3rd time in 5 games, Tony Rochak has 20 points. Playing with those 4 personal fouls that he got just over the 15-minute mark. Edler Davis, the 3, misses. Ball knocked around and a travel after the offensive rebound, and that's on the Colorado State transfer, Jack Schumann.
Another break for the Tritons.
14 offensive rebounds for the Runners as they get Reynolds back in. Schumann back on the bench and is so angry with himself he shoos away the guy trying to give him water. Pope brings it across the timeline. 4-point game. This is a big possession here. Coming up on the media break shortly.
Corey wanted that basketball.
Here's Tony trying to take over, playing with the 4 fouls and 20 points. Rockamore. Rochak off the drive. Double team comes out to Wakoria. There's 2 to shoot, rising up for the 3, and it's good with 1 to go on the shot clock. Bryce Pope, his first 3-point make of the night.
Tritons did a really nice job of just keeping that ball moving. And then Pope with a hand in his face nails it.
He got the breathing room 3 right there, a 7-point advantage. Walker with 3:40 to go pulls up, and that's a deep 2. David Walker, the sophomore from Canada. And this will take us to immediate timeout. Oh, don't go anywhere. It is a 5-point advantage for UC San Diego. 3:37 to go in regulation. The Big West on a Saturday night.
If you're always asking,
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. A new home and new projects go hand in hand.
if you're always asking,
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
This stuff's gonna kill me, but I won't let it. And I try to.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. A new home and new projects go hand in hand. Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot.
Getting your paycheck up to 2 days earlier is another reason banking with Capital One is.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Capital One.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel.
Well, the men will be back here at RE/MAC Arena Thursday, February 10th at 7 o'clock when they take on UC Davis. You can watch it live on ESPN+.
Well, the Tritons lost a 13-point second-half lead to Cal Poly on Thursday. They led by 15 early in the second half here tonight. Looking to hang on, and UC San Diego has never trailed in this game, but the Runners on 3 straight possessions have got to within 1. It's a 2-possession game here. They pick up the press in the backcourt through the Runners. Rochak lost the handle and out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover. That's just the 7th of the ball game for the UC San Diego Tritons, but it could be a very, very costly one. Bakersfield with 10 points already off of turnovers. Bakersfield scores 63 a night. They're third in the Big West. They've got 68 here. Still a little over 3 minutes to go. Crossover on Walker, gets in through the double team, shoots it up, and last touch by Stiff.
I think they might change that. That looked like it was off of Rochek.
I agree. This should be Bakersfield ball. One official called it off of Bakersfield. The other official had the better view, to be quite honest with you, right in front of Bakersfield bench. Changed it. They got the call right. There's 7 to shoot, 3:05 to go, 5-point game. Inbound high to Edler Davis. Got to get out of his hands. To Higgins, who drives, pulls up from the elbow, missed it, and Rochek's got a rebound. Yep. That's his 7th of the game to go along with his 20 points.
Tritons with a 5-point lead can afford to bleed some clock here.
Long Beach State won this afternoon over Davis. Fullerton got beat for the first time. Their 8-game winning streak is over. And here's Killingsworth. Big three! Rattles it home. Oh, that was huge for Killingsworth.
You could hear the exhale from here from Coach Olin.
He was 3 for 3 on threes in the early going, had not hit one until right there. He's got 4 threes in the game and stretches the lead out to 8. Oh, what a shot. 2:18 to go. Ball is loose and a steal by Tony Rochek.
Coria poking that one loose.
And he was calling for it. He was like, hey, reward the big fella on the other end. He's going to get a screen on Walker here. Pope goes left. Take some time off the clock here. Tritons have 1 timeout left. Bakersfield has 2 left, and the Tritons are in the double bonus. Pope from beyond the free throw line missed it. Rebounded by Edler Davis. 8-point game. Here's Walker. Walker thought about the 3. McCall's coming in. I was going to say, we haven't seen Justin McCall in a while. He'll come in when play is dead. And a steal by Killingsworth. Ahead it goes to Pope, and Pope with a finger roll. It's a 10-point game with 90 seconds to go. Timeout Bakersfield. It unravels on the runners here late, and give credit to the Tritons.
Great job by Killingsworth in the passing lane, and then for Bryce Pope to just leak out beyond the rest of the team.
9 turnovers for Bakersfield, that's it. But they've led to 9 points for the Tritons there. And again, the 6th fewest turnovers in the NCAA is Bakersfield. They lead the Big West with the fewest turnovers, and they turn their opponent over 15 times. The Tritons have only given it away 7 in this game.
Well, UC San Diego, 1 foul away from the bonus. And right now, all they need to do is just play good defense and try not to foul.
Tritons have really turned the table on Bakersfield. Runners lead the Big West with 7 steals a game. They only have 3 tonight. Meantime, Tritons just picked up their 5th and 6th steals of the game on those back-to-back possessions. So 90 seconds to go. Runners got to go the length of the floor, down 10 here. And you put a little press on, right, so they can't roll it up and save some time. Higgins to McCall, who's back in for the first time in a while, and he lost it out of bounds.
Coria again.
Oh, Francis with a big 3 earlier here in the second half. He's got 17 points, 6 rebounds. Triton basketball, 1:18 to go, and in comes Reynolds, and out goes Walker.
Well, Coria plays beyond his years, a true freshman.
If they can get this win, it would end a 6-game losing streak against Big West opponents. For the first time in the Division I era, they've lost back-to-back home games. Looks like it's going to end here. Triton win would put them 9-11 overall, and they've got an idea, as there's a reach-in foul there of Reynolds, of maybe playing in the CBI or the CIT postseason tournament. You only have to be 500 or better to get your way in, and of course, Tritons are not eligible in the standings, the Big West tournament, or the NIT or the NCAA tournament.
And what a great opportunity that would be, just to experience some postseason on the D1 level. And obviously that would be a good recruiting pitch as well, that, yeah, we're still going through the transition, but that doesn't mean we can't play in the postseason.
And we're halfway through the Big West Conference season after tonight. Tritons have only lost one game so far to any sort of COVID issues. But we're almost halfway through the Division I transition as well. Going quickly. He made one of two, did Pope. 17 for the redshirt sophomore from Torrey Pines High School.
Yeah, you talk to anybody that's been paying attention to the development of this team at the D1 level, and most people will tell you they're confident that this is going to be a team to be reckoned with when it becomes official and they have a chance to play to get into the tournament.
Pope got a little blood, so did Rockamore on their shorts. And so the officials calling a timeout here. Try and sock it up, because you certainly don't want to lose those two guys on the floor when you've only played, what, 7 tonight. Can't have those two guys off the floor with 1 minute to go, down 11.
Well, this has been a fun game. Two really athletic teams. The runners can really get up and down the floor. Both of them having their ups and downs, but I think you know, the Tritons finding a way to pull out of that little rut midway through this second half is going to go a long way toward helping them in the future as well.
What's really helped them tonight, all the trips to the free throw line, 23 of 28. Tritons have tied their season high with 23 free throws made. Again, winners today, Long Beach State. Riverside knocked off Fullerton for the first time. Irvine put a hurting on Cal Poly, who gets a sweep on the, or a split rather, on the road. Cal Poly got their first road win in over 3 years in this building on Thursday. Stiff, another offensive rebound. A runner is down, a bucket by Walker. And there is a runner down just to the left of us, really hurt here.
Yeah, I think he took an elbow to the side of the head. You saw the ball bouncing around there, and there were a lot of arms flying around there too. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that might be Edler Davis. I can't see at this point. 79-70 with 40 seconds to go, and that is Edler Davis, who's played brilliantly tonight. 22 points, 11 rebounds, double-double for the kid out of Morse High School here in San Diego. When you think of Morse High School, who do you think of other than Coach John Shacklett?
Morse High School, the quarterback, who's it, Teddy, I can't think of his name.
Well, how about Adam Jones?
Oh, oh man, how could I forget Adam Jones?
So Adam Jones, the Baltimore Oriole Major League Baseball player. I also think of the, you'll laugh at me at this one, but the Taylor brothers, Gary and, oh boy, they were running backs at Arizona back in the late 80s, early 90s. I had a chance to see Coach Shack at the Prep Pigskin Report Gala.
Yeah.
Gary and Kerry Taylor. So Gary was the running back. Kerry was the wide receiver at Arizona in the Desert Swarm days. But we didn't have much offense at Arizona in the Desert Swarm days.
Teddy Lawrence is who I was thinking of.
Now, see, I don't remember Teddy Lawrence at all. Where?
Oh, he was a stud. He was a running quarterback that could also throw it a little bit.
I think there was one year where they had like 9,000 yards rushing.
And that would have been like back in like just after our high school years.
Yeah,
so like
early 90s. Yeah,
yep.
I think that was with the Taylor brothers. 40 seconds to go. We'll get off of strolling down memory lane and take an exit here and get back. Got to get the inbound in, and let's see, will they trap? They trap, looking for a foul here. They almost got the takeaway, and there's the push. Pinocchio with the foul.
Something we haven't talked about, but the Tritons have handled the pressure really well tonight.
Yeah, only 7 turnovers. I can't multitask to see if that's the lowest we've had this season, but I would assume so. Here's Killingsworth to the free throw line, 12 points for him. And there it is, a season high, 24 makes from the charity stripe. Killingsworth was outstanding, setting the tempo early, right? 3 quick threes, and then he hit a big one here to stem the tide. So the Tritons have made 5 of their last 6. And this is going to feel pretty rewarding. Bakersfield never led in the game at one point. And for the runners, they'll drop to 6-9 overall, 1-5 in the Big West. Came in tied for 8th. That's a nice dribble drive there by Higgins, and he gets the ball in the paint to go down the shot for a bucket.
This is going to be Eric Olin's 175th career win tonight.
He's going to feel much, much better and have maybe a little more lengthy press conference.
Yes.
Make it easy, a little easier on our boy Jeff, who's right behind him there.
Maybe get a couple minutes out of him today.
That happened. I mean, Eric's the best.
Oh, no, he is. I mean, there wasn't really much to say after that one.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to play better.
He can get hot at times. We've seen it. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I know you weren't there, but when they were taking on San Diego State, it was not a great game. It was a beat down by a very good Aztec team. But he was not happy with a lot that was going on that day. And got to see the competitive side, if you will, of Eric. Well, on 3 different occasions here that I can recall in the second half, Bakersfield was within a point. Higgins with the shot clock off. He takes a deep 3. Rockamore came out to defend it. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to remain with Bakersfield. 13.9 to go. 83 points so far for the Tritons. They're 6th in scoring in the conference. 69 points per game. And the field goal defense will be, well, not where you want it to be, right? They'll remain still last in the Big West. And how about the rebounding? They were last in rebounding. And they get it handed to them today. That's a basket and a foul. They were out rebounded by 16. Yikes.
Just looking over at the bench at Edler Davis, he's got an ice pack that he's putting on the side like of his neck, it looks like, not his face.
Well, Tony finally fouls out, but it comes with 9.4 to go. Remember, they were up 15 when he got his 4th foul and went off the floor for about 5 minutes, and Bakersfield came back.
Yeah, he managed the foul trouble really well.
Walker completes the 3-point play. I've been impressed with the play of Walker. 20 for Walker. Edler Davis with 22. So 42 of the 75 scored by Edler Davis and Walker. Rockamore dribbles it up, and Kosakowski has it and will dribble it out, and a great bounce back win for the UC San Diego Tritons. Their 9th win of the season. They break a 6-game losing streak. They've got their 3rd win of the year against a Big West Conference opponent, and it feels good. A victory for the first time since CSUN on New Year's Day, and career win number 175 at UC San Diego for Eric Olin.
Yeah, congratulations to him, and for the Tritons stopping that 6-game skid. Maybe they can start a new run now with some dubs.
Tony Rochek, 20 and 7. Bryce Pope, 19 points, 17 for Wacoria, 14 for Killingsworth, 4 big threes. And the Tritons will go back out on the road, having earned a home split over Cal Poly and UC Santa Barbara. For our terrific crew here at UC San Diego, the athletic department, my partner, Ted Mendenhall, I'm Steve Quist. We bid you a farewell from La Jolla, California. Tritons win at 83-75. Good night, everybody.